guys, thank you so much for joining. This is BFA, Luke Jordan, of course. This is officially our first series. We're going over some options that I use pretty frequently for the hip bump sweep. And I'm going to teach you guys how to use it a bit more dynamically. It's a sweep, but I kind of use it as a system. There's sweeps off of it. There's different positional drills off of it. You can use it to create space. You can use it to break posture. You can use it to submit. There's a bunch of awesome stuff.
Variational in form of a number of different things.
Yeah, and I mean, you've rolled with me. I know a bunch of you guys watching have. I use it a ton. It's kind of interesting because I'll go into more of the details video per video. We're going to have about 3 or 4 episodes of this. This is technically episode 2, I guess, because I showed my basic hip bump. And today we're going to be looking at a hip bump with the option of a Kimura. So we'll jump right into it. These first few are going to be kind of more what I used to do. This is how my initial sense of the hip bump went. And then the later 2 episodes will probably be more about how I like to use it now, since I'm more of a dominant, aggressive game player now.
Become more advanced at the whole hip bump game.
All right, well, we'll hop right into it. This is the hip bump to Kimura. So, essentially, same thing as we went through before. I'm not going to get too deep into it. If you haven't watched it, I did release another hip bump video. You guys can go back to it. One way or another, you're looking to isolate an arm, hands on the mat. Essentially, if you leave this here and he can keep your posture down, he can keep you from sitting up, it's very difficult. So what you're looking to do is you're looking to essentially put his hands on the mat one way or another. There's a bunch of different techniques to do that. Next thing you're doing, of course, is you're throwing this outside or inside arm, kind of like a baseball, right over his shoulder, okay? In a traditional hip bump, you're looking at grabbing this arm. However, when you throw your hip into him, you're actually going to let it create some space for you. This right here is where your hip is going to sit. So in the Kimura, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to scoot your hips the opposite direction, and you want to scoot and sit your left hip on this mat. So watch this. So I'm creating the space, and then I'm sitting my hip out this way. And this is where I'm looking for that Kimura grip. This outside foot is going to be put right into the hip. You want to come around and look at that. Right into the hip, and this top leg is going to clamp right down on his back. If I leave this lazy, Luke will roll out, he'll pull out. What you'll mostly see is once you start to apply this, guys will roll. So you want to clamp right down on top of it. You're going to reach over, go up underneath his elbow. The other hand grabs his wrist. You kind of weave it right there. If you want to come take a look at the hands right here. This is your Kimura grip. Some people do it with thumbs. You have a little more control with thumbs, but you have a little more application and pressure without the thumbs when you do this kind of grip. Make sure you keep a healthy bend. If you start to apply out here, you get a really strong guy, he breaks free. So you're going to keep a healthy bend in the arm, and you're going to just push down. Watch how this elbow clamps to my belly. That eliminates this flexibility in the shoulder. If that can move around, you can still get the Kimura, but you're going to have to do a lot more work. Exactly. So you're going to clamp this elbow
that's
right
already
down.
Tight. That's already starting to.
And start to apply. He couldn't get very far, but just an example, the motion is right there. But obviously when you clamp down his shoulder, he doesn't have that kind of range of motion. So that is the Kimura all together one last time. Create the space. And there it is. It's an awesome option for someone who, to be completely honest, is just sometimes you go for it and they're just sturdy and they're not moving. But they're so heavy on their base, you can slide out underneath them and go for different options.
There are people who are really good at just fighting their arm back out, and they'll post to stop it. And if they don't, then
the hip bump. I mean, here at the end of the day,
just take him out.
If he's being difficult and he gives you the hip bump, take the hip bump.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll go for my points first.
Yeah, for sure.
And then get the submission. But if they're not giving you the points,
how many points is that? If you go from bottom to mount, do you get both sweeping and mount points? Okay, so that's
you get
a lot. I mean,
so. Anyways, that's that. We'll the next one we're going to look at the hip bump to the triangle, which is now kind of a personal favorite of mine. I use it a ton, so check out for that. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, guys. Give us your feedback.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. We want to hear and ideas for new videos. Do you hit this? Is there a variation you like or a different grip you like? Please let us know. Keep moving in the
ask
comments.
questions. If you have any issues with it, please let us know, because it's something that I've worked a ton. I'm sure I've run into. The biggest detail you can't miss is you have to sit that hip out. If you don't move your hips, you're going to get flattened right back on your back and not be able to get that rotation. So I'll save you your first mistake. After that, you guys comment, and we'll kind of do this together and make sure you get this moved down. So thank you so much.
Thank you.